Hey there. Today, I have a story that might just shake your soul and light a fire in your heart. Let me ask you something. Be honest. When it's your birthday, or when you pass a big exam, or your friends are coming for a sleepover, maybe even when you're heartbroken and just want to eat away the pain, what's the first thing that pops into your head? Yep, that red and blue box. Hot, cheesy. Domino's. That smell of melted cheese. The ding-dong of the doorbell. You lift the lid of that red and blue box, and there it is. Your happiness. Steaming hot. The crust, crunchy and soft. The cheese, pure joy. Let's be real. This isn't just pizza. It's a feeling. But here's the question. Do you know the man behind that feeling? Do you know the true story of Domino's? Here's a fact that might blow your mind. Domino's sells more than 3 million pizzas every single day. That means, as you're watching this, someone just placed an order, and then another, and another. This brand is now worth over $20 billion. Yes, with a capital B. But it didn't begin with billions. It began with a boy who had nothing, no money, no father, not even enough to eat. But he had one thing that changed everything, a dream. This isn't just a story to inspire you. It's here to push you out of your comfort zone, shake you awake, and reignite the fire you forgot you had. It will show you how to create something out of absolutely nothing, and how to keep going, even when the world says you're done. So, lean in, stay with me till the end. And hey, like, comment, share, and subscribe. Because this isn't just English practice. This could be the story that changes your life. The story begins in Ann Arbor, Michigan. March 25th, 1937. Tom Monahan was born. Nobody could have guessed that one day this baby would grow up to feed millions. But from the very start, life wasn't kind. When Tom was just 4, tragedy hit. His father, a humble carpenter, passed away suddenly. Too young to understand loss, Tom's world crumbled overnight. His mother, a nurse, did everything she could. But grief, poverty, and exhaustion left her overwhelmed. She didn't have enough time, money, or strength to care for her son. So, with a broken heart, she made the hardest choice. She sent little Tom to a Catholic orphanage run by strict nuns. He was only 6, just 6. Picture this, a little boy torn from home, no toys to play with, no hugs goodnight, no bedtime stories whispered in the dark, just silence, schedules, cold rules, and colder rooms. Tom spent 6 long years in that Catholic orphanage, 6 years of bland food, borrowed clothes, and whispered prayers. But those years did something to him. They didn't break him. They built him. They made him tough. They made him hungry, not just for dinner, but for a future. Even as a kid, Tom wasn't dreaming of mansions. He wanted safety, control, freedom. To get there, he worked any job he could find, paper routes, dish scrubbing, house cleaning. Sometimes he wore the same shirt for weeks, but you never heard him complain, because he was learning the art of the climb, how to hustle, how to endure, how to grow. Tom once had a dream, to become an architect. He got accepted into the University of Michigan, full of hope, but just a few months in, he had to walk away. Why? He couldn't pay tuition, no money for books, no bed of his own. Most people would have quit right there. But not Tom. He didn't complain. He didn't break. He looked life in the eye and said, "I'll find another way." And he did. He signed up for one of the toughest teams on Earth, the United States Marine Corps. That's where Tom got his real education, not in a classroom, but in the dirt, the cold, and the chaos. Waking up at 5 a.m., pushing through 100 push-ups a day, sweating through brutal drills that broke weaker men. But it wasn't just his body that got stronger. It was his mind. He learned something that would stay with him forever. Never quit, never fold, no matter how hard it gets. After his time in the Marines, Tom returned home, tougher than ever. When Tom came back from the Marines, he had no diploma, no job, and not a single dollar to his name. But he carried something stronger than money, a burning drive to change his life. Then, fate knocked. In 1960, his brother James heard about a little pizza shop for sale in Ypsilanti, Michigan. It was called Dominic's Pizza, Old, small, and tucked near a college campus. Not famous, not flashy. But it had one thing that caught Tom's eye. Potential. The asking price? $900. Sure, that doesn't sound like much today, but back then, for two broke brothers scraping by, it felt like a mountain. Still, Tom didn't walk away. He leaned in. He did something bold. He borrowed $900. Not from a bank, from a loan shark with sky-high interest rates. If the business flopped, he wouldn't just be broke, he'd be buried in debt. But Tom took the leap. He believed in the store. He believed in the idea. Most importantly, he believed in himself. So, Tom and James sealed the deal and bought Dominic's Pizza. It was small, just one shop, one oven, and one beat-up delivery car. Tom got to work. No staff, no manager, no breaks. He was the entire operation. Tom did it all. He mixed the dough, chopped the vegetables, fired up the oven, cleaned the grease off every surface. And when a delivery came in, he grabbed the pizza box and made the run himself. Some days he didn't sleep at all. Some nights, dinner was whatever was left in the warming tray. Cold slices, crushed crusts. It didn't matter, because every door he knocked on, every smile from a hungry customer, it lit him up. Each delivery wasn't just a meal, it was a step toward his dream, and that dream was starting to take shape. But trouble came knocking again. His brother James had had enough. "This is too hard, Tom. I'm going back to my old job," he said. Tom didn't argue. He didn't beg. Instead, he did something wild. He handed over their only delivery car, an old Volkswagen Beetle, and took full control of the business. That's right. No more car. But all the responsibility and all the vision was now his. Tom kept going. He delivered pizzas on foot. Sometimes he called in favors from friends. Rain or snow, night or day, he kept moving. Because giving up just wasn't in his blood. This was the point where most people would break. No car, no rest, no backup funds. But not Tom. He looked straight ahead and declared, "I'm going to build the best pizza delivery business the world has ever seen." And brick by brick, he started changing everything. Then came a day that rewrote his future. His staff had the day off. He was alone, just him and the ovens. Most business owners would have locked up and gone home. Take the day off. Rest. But not Tom. There was no backup plan. So he put on the delivery cap, boxed the pizzas, and ran every order himself. Every single one. What looked like just another exhausting shift turned out to be a turning point. It was a breakthrough. That day, Tom discovered a truth most people missed. Speed matters. Customers didn't care if it was the owner or a teenager delivering. As long as it was fast and hot, they were happy. So Tom made a bold move. He announced, 30 minutes or it's free. If your pizza didn't arrive within half an hour, you didn't pay a dime, and people went wild for it. Orders skyrocketed. Tom hustled harder. His team picked up the pace. Everyone wanted fast food, literally, and the chance to maybe get it for free? Even better. Word traveled fast, like their pizzas. Soon, Domino's was flooded with orders. Sales soared by 40% in just the first year after launching the 30-minute promise. Customers were hooked. They loved the speed. They loved the thrill of maybe getting it free. With orders pouring in, Domino's had to level up, fast. They hired more drivers, mapped out faster routes, streamlined the kitchen process to make pizzas quicker. Before the promise, deliveries averaged 45 minutes. But now, they consistently hit that 30-minute mark. Fast food had officially become fast, and Domino's was leading the race. It wasn't just a clever marketing trick. It was a revolution. Customers were getting their pizzas faster than ever, and the faster they got them, the more they ordered. With demand soaring, Domino's cash register didn't stop ringing. By the 1970s, they were making $40 million a year. By the 1980s, over $200 million annually. That's not growth, that's a rocket launch, and all of it started with one bold promise. 30 minutes or it's free. That one sentence turned Domino's into the king of pizza delivery. They claimed 45% of the US delivery market, crushing their competition one slice at a time. But Domino's wasn't done, not even close. Riding the wave of US success, they went global. opening stores in Canada, Japan, the UK, and beyond. They weren't just selling pizza anymore. They were exporting a system, a promise of speed, reliability, and hot slices anywhere on Earth. In fact, they became the world's first international pizza delivery chain. And what made it possible? Franchising. Instead of running every store themselves, Domino's let others carry the torch. It worked. By the late 1980s, they had over 2,000 stores worldwide, from a single oven in Michigan to a global pizza empire. But just when everything seemed unstoppable, Domino's hit a wall: lawsuits, debt, disaster, and the very promise that made them famous almost destroyed them. Want to know how they survived it all? How a broken brand came back stronger than ever? Watch part 2. It gets wild.